Hey there, and welcome to U Talk. We connect with extraordinary people across Canada and ask them about their stories, passions, and experiences. I'm your host, Ryan Funk. Music really is transcendent. The swell of an orchestra and the triumphant moments of a hero. Bops over the radio as you're driving in your car, or the lively jumping or smooth soul of jazz in a club. Music is incredibly flexible. A person who embodies that magical essence of music is friend of U Multicultural Onna Lou.
Hello, I am Onna Lou. I'm an Argentinian singer and songwriter. I moved to Canada in 2016, and I've been living in Winnipeg very happily, I must say. I am currently working on my second album, which I will release in April 2020. I got mixed up with the numbers, but next year in April. And I'm releasing singles. I released a single on December 20th, yesterday. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here chatting with you, Ryan.
So what can you tell me about your single?
My single is called Sonriámosle a la pena, which means let's smile at sorrow. And it's about something I learned a few years ago, which has helped me a lot, which is to accept sorrow as part of life. I think, and no one has told me otherwise yet, I think we all have days when things just don't work, when we feel down, and all the range from super depressed or just lack of energy. And those days are hard. And I used to get so upset on those days and feel bad that I was feeling bad. And in general, just this thought, this idea that sadness was something that was wrong with me and that I needed to solve, that I could avoid it and have a life without it. And then I learned, something opened up in me, and I realized it's just a part of life, of everyone's life, and it's a part because life is beautiful, because I care, because I love people and things, because I have dreams, and because of that there's gonna be also loss and fear and being preoccupied about stuff. So for me it was a very important point in my life. I learned that joy can coexist with sadness. I can be worried and still be peaceful. I'm still learning, right? But I wanted to pour this into a song, and I'm very happy with the result. It also has in it artists from Cuba, Chile, Canada, Argentina, and I don't know if I'm forgetting any place, but I feel like it reflects very nicely how eclectic Winnipeg is. Because it was all recorded and produced in Winnipeg, and I really like that. And we recorded like already with the cold, and it's a very warm song. It's a very warm song for Central American flavor, more Cuban color in the arrangement. And I love that it came out of this cold place and it's such an eclectic city. And that many people don't know that Winnipeg is like this. So I like that.
That message stands so true during this period of time. We really can't control what's going on. It can be out of our hands, and that can be scary. But we have to learn to accept that and make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, of course. If we had this idea that I can't be happy if I am sad, or if there is something wrong going on, look at the world, like with the pandemic, and it's so out of our control. So I guess like what I want to say in the song is also like to find the beauty and the happiness in every day, even when you are sad or even when there are so many problems, you can still feel happy. You can still find beauty and happiness and peace during the same day.
You also recently got back from a trip. How was that?
Actually, I'm still tripping. I'm in Argentina right now.
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, so I came at the beginning of December, and I'm going to stay until the end of January. I am going to do a show. I'm doing some promotion for my music here. And of course, most of all getting together with my family, spending time with them, getting together with friends. It had been 2 years since the last time I came, so I was desperate to see them. Yeah, so I'm very happy, very, very happy right now to be here. Though I miss Winnipeg, I miss the cold, I miss my friends. It's crazy. Life is crazy.
You don't hear many people say they miss the cold.
Yeah, and I'm a summer person. I love the summer. I love Winnipeg summer, but the cold is also, I like that curve in the year that changes, different stages. So yeah, I miss it.
Yeah, I guess so. If it's the same weather all the time, it can feel a little just monotone. But out here, especially in Manitoba, in the morning, it can be beautiful.
Oh yeah. Not bored at all, ever, weather-wise. Yeah, and I like that, and I like how it also those changes in weather within a day, but also along the year. I like it. I think it also reflects the changes within everyone, right? And how everything is in constant flow. I like that.
What first got you interested in music?
So I guess the first time was when we are 5 siblings, and this guitar teacher would come to my house and then teach us a lesson one at a time. And I was 5 and 6. That lasted for 2 years. And I remember perfectly like this. I have these vivid memories of my lessons, and also of spending hours in the living room, like playing my songs and figuring out the chords. And I remember how I was able to play songs and sing and stop looking at my hand playing chords and stuff. So it wasn't conscious, but I see now how much I was enjoying music already. And I feel like it set camp in my heart right then. So I guess that was the first signs. Then I stopped playing until I was a teenager. I got back into playing and singing and spending endless hours figuring out songs with my ears stuck to the radio or CDs, and just trying to figure out the chord. I don't know. There was internet already, but during years I did never looked for chords on the internet. I would just I liked to figure out the chords myself.
Oh, so you've got a really good inner ear then, being able to hear the music then in your head.
Yeah. I mean, that helped me to develop it, I think. And then I was a teenager then, and I finished high school and I got into law school and politics, like politics sciences. I don't know, that's how it's called here, for a couple of years, because I was very into that, and my dad is a lawyer, and I don't know, whatever. I had never even considered like doing music professionally, but I was unhappy. I felt something was off, and one day I dropped school from school, and my brother-in-law told me, like, why don't you study music? That's what you do all day. Why? And I was like, duh. But yeah, and I thought about it, and of course that's what I loved doing every day. And I loved musicians, and my thing with I also got into college for economics, all that in 2 years. But I wanted to affect a change in the world. Like, I wanted to do good, I still worry about social situation, economics, justice, like everyone else, right? But I felt like I had that calling. But I realized, I really don't want to be around politicians all day, or lawyers or judges or whatever. But I do want to be around musicians, and I see musicians do great good in the world. Thank God for music. It can inspire change. It can ignite the hearts of anyone doing all sorts of things in the world. So I said, yeah, let's try that. And I started long 10 years of studying a lot. But yeah, that's when I decided I wanted to do this professionally.
Cool. I mean, I've had moments where I've been in and out of music. I used to play trumpet back in elementary and high school, so that was a lot of fun. And then I've picked up ukulele. Not great, but there's something just magical about music. I play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, and there's when you have music playing in a scene, it makes it hit different.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, we see that in movies all the time, like the difference music makes, and the thing about like uniting people, cultures, how we can enjoy music from other cultures and find out about other cultures through music and know about their existence and find out more about them. And I think that goes a long way into, at some point in the life of humanity, in the history of humanity, we will be able to feel as one and respect each other and really feel as equals. And I think music does a lot to contribute in contributing to that.
Yeah, it transcends language barriers. Even if you don't necessarily understand the words in a song, you can get the emotions out of it.
I grew up listening to music in English, and I didn't speak a word of English when I was growing up, but I loved it. And I would spend hours and hours and feeling lots of things that didn't have to do with the lyrics because I couldn't really understand the lyrics. That amazes me now. But that's true for so many million people with the Beatles and other bands that transcended completely language and culture.
What is that experience listening to English music when you don't understand the language? I know I've watched a couple of videos where it's like, oh, this is what English sounds to non-English speakers, and it sounds so weird.
I haven't watched those videos. No, I've spoken English now for a few years, so I can't really remember the feeling because really I spent so many hours growing up feeling a lot listening to music in English. But maybe I can equate it. I was in the opera the other day listening to a Mozart opera, and well, that's a fresh feeling and it's just, I don't know, it's nice for me because I'm always paying a lot of attention to the lyrics, so it's nice for me once in a while it just opens up to a freer way of interpreting the music. So I'm speaking Spanish all day now, and so my English is like rusty.
Bilingual. I can only speak one language, so you're already way ahead of me.
Okay, thank you.
So what can you tell me about your music specifically? What is it about your sound or style? What is it that it speaks to you?
I like, and I also do it consciously. I make a point of it. I like to make a fusion of Latin American folk rhythms, like folk roots. I've been getting more into Latin American genres over the last few years, and I like fusion. I think fusion is the music of our present moment in history, just for the mere fact that we can all listen to any music anytime during the day at the tip of your fingers. So that's incredible. But I like the idea of bringing classical, old, maybe sometimes falling off history genres and bring them to contemporary sound, a contemporary singer-songwriter style, but with a strong color of folk. I like that crossing of things. And then lyrics-wise, I like talking about the things that matter to me and then consequently probably to lots of people, to the things that are important in life. My aim or my fantasy is to make music that make you feel something, make you feel whatever you need to feel. I think music has that power, like that cathartic power, that the right song will open your heart and it will bring up the emotion that you need to let out. And not all music has that effect, but I try to write music like that can touch a fiber inside people.
What is the term? I think it's like the muses speaking to you. I think that's like in Greek, poetry and songs and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, the muse is like magic, or music is almost like a force of nature itself, and it speaks to some people.
Yeah. Yeah, it is incredible. The power that it has to shift a mood, to shift ideas, to unite. I don't know, to propagate good in the world. I think it has just an enormous power, and I like to be a part of that. It's greedy, maybe, but that's what I want to do. That's what fills my heart with desire to be a part of that. To give the world songs that are good.
What is your favorite part of performing music? Maybe just when you're practicing by yourself and then in front of an audience.
I don't know. They're all so necessary. Probably playing for people, I think would be like, it's like a higher point. I enjoy a lot and I do a lot more, so much more being by myself and practicing and composing. But the moment when I'm in front of someone and we can look at each other in the eye and this connection manifests, that's pure gold.
Being in that spotlight, performing in front of people, almost feeding off their excitement and energy as they're experiencing this moment with you.
And I feel that experience so much because it's undeniable. When I am, for example, rehearsing, I can sing in a certain way. But when there is audience, when there are people in front of me, it changes. I have like a boost of energy that I can't have when I am alone. And that's the energy of the other souls in the room.
You moved to Canada in 2016. What made you decide to move?
We wanted to try, me and my husband are from Argentina, and we wanted to live abroad, and we had a few options that it's not easy to move to a country. You have to be able to live there legally. So Canada is very open to immigration, and we have family in Winnipeg. And we kept, at the moment we were making this decision, we kept meeting people who had lived in Canada or who were living in Canada and could only say positive things about it. It was almost like the universe was like pulling us to choose here. We also had the chance to go to Spain and to New Zealand, but at that moment, it just felt that Canada was the right choice. And now, years later, like 8 years after that, I believe, yes, that was it. It was the right choice for us.
Of course. What can you tell me about Argentina?
Argentina. Well, Buenos Aires. I am from Buenos Aires, which is the capital, and it's this huge city, like very big, millions of people, very electric. People from Argentina and from this city are very, very intense. Everything is felt with like 1,000 times more intensity than maybe other places, and very passionate. It's a very cultural city. There's lots of arts going on all the time, even though there are no funds and it's very hard for art to happen. Like it varies, there are some governments that give more support, others give less. But like art finds its way.
It finds its way.
And there's always things going on, and lots of music, theater, art, and geographically it's a very long country. It's the last country in the south of the continent. So I always joke that I moved to the opposite pole because that's what I did. I moved to Canada from Argentina. But it's a very beautiful country. It has all sorts of geographies like mountains, glaciers, beach, prairie, everything, jungle. So it's a beautiful country to visit. Anyone that has a chance to come, they should, because it's amazing.
Yeah, that's something I've learned talking with people from all over the place. It's really got me wanting to travel again. I mean, once this is all over, there are so many places I want to check out. I'll have to add Argentina to my list.
Oh, yes, you should. Really, you won't regret it. I mean, if you ever come, talk to me, call me, and I'll give you some tips, some suggestions.
Sounds good. So, what is your hope or goal looking forward in your musical career? What is something that you want to achieve? What is your dream in terms of your musical endeavors?
I guess like reaching more people, like reaching lots of people that and being able to go to different countries. Like I guess it's related to we were talking about traveling and getting to know cultures and people. So I would love to be able to travel and play my music and reach lots of people with my music, and go back to that original seed that when I chose to do music professionally, to be able to do good. I feel like through the music I am doing good, but also if I could get to be more influential and use that power to support good things, good causes, that I would feel very well about that. I'm happy already because I'm doing what I love. My life is about music and family and friends, so I'm already happy. But if you ask me, like, what would be like, wow, yes, this is happening, that would be like reaching lots of people and being able to have good effect on important things. Yes, like being, yeah, I love to help others in any way that life lets me do it.
What are some of the differences from performing in Argentina versus here in Canada?
Well, here in Argentina, people understand what I'm saying, and my songs are a lot about the lyrics, in the sense that I love writing the lyrics, and all this that I'm telling you, I like to speak about things that I think are important, and whatever I feel like I'm understanding better from life and I feel it's worth sharing, I do it through the lyrics. So I love that people understand. And mostly that when I when I perform in Canada, it's the same, like, because people like it, people who come and see me like what I do. So the feeling is similar. And also I love providing translations when I perform in Canada, when I do shows. And so I kind of achieve the same. But yes, I would say that's the only difference. Because in the end, to me, it's the same satisfaction of connecting and being able to connect with people in the room, and from the people in the room I get the same, like that enjoyment of live music. So it's pretty much the same.
What are you listening to right now just in your free time?
That's a tricky question because free time is something I haven't been having, but let me think. I when I'm very busy, actually I go to my classics. So maybe I listen to this Argentine musician Charlie Garcia, which I love, or Jorge Drexler, which is a Uruguayan singer-songwriter. But yeah, classics. Nothing crazy new.
The classics are a classic for a reason. I always like to think, just in 50 years from now, what is going to be considered classic? Because right now we think of like Mozart or like kind of that era's, the classicals.
Mm-hmm.
What is it going to be? Like our pop music, like Ariana Grande or things like that, considered a classic in 50 years?
Yeah, it's very interesting to try and imagine what's going to happen with that. I like that question. I'm going to think about that.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
What sort of words of encouragement or advice would you give someone who is looking to pursue a musical career? Specifically for someone whose maybe music isn't in, like if they're here in Canada, isn't in English.
Yeah, but just to remember that music transcends language. There's always an audience for anything in this world. It's also like so global right now. You can live in Canada but reach people anywhere. And that Canada, if there is a good place, I don't know all other places, but Canada is a really good place to pursue a musical career, even if your music is not in English. I'm a good example. I've received tons of support from the councils in these 5 years, so go for it. Always keep the connection and the heart and the mind in the everyday enjoyment of and working of the craft, right? That has to be like the strongest thing at all times. And yeah, keep going and finding opportunities. Canada is a great place to do what you're doing.
Winnipeg is so great for that. The arts are just so vibrant here. Of course, everything's slowed down, but once we're out of this pandemic, I believe we're going to see a surge of the arts again. That's what I feel.
Yeah, we've already seen like a little craziness in the last 2 months, like so much live music and shows. And yeah, it's going to be like that again. And I think that's one of the silver linings of this pandemic is probably like the reappreciation of the importance of music and arts in everybody's life, in the life of a scientist, a nurse, any worker from any occupation. Like music has been so important, and arts and reading, and it helps humanity cope with anything. So I think, yeah, it's gonna come back stronger than ever.
Can people go to find out more about you and find your music?
I'm on all the usual places: Spotify as Onna Lou, Instagram Onna Lou Music, and on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. There are several music videos on YouTube that you can check out. And my website, onnalou.com.
If you have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight, leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was U Talk, and have yourself a good one.